Hello everyone, my name is Sam Chen, and this is my CIS3367 final project for Professor Andrea Wheeler. So, in this project, I decided to look at Baked by Melissa's cupcakes, and their income statement in order to try to figure out how we can make a profit and where does all our money go to for Baked by Melissa's cupcakes. So some background information about me is I used to be a cashier for Baked by Melissa's, and every single day I worked with my fellow coworkers in deciding how many units that we had to make, how many cupcakes that we had to make every single day in order to satisfy our customers, how many cupcakes do we need in order to make a profit for the day, how many cupcakes do we need in order to make sure we break even for the month, and all these questions made me decide to work on this project. You use that as a basis for this project because I wanted to figure out how can I make my manager's life easier and hopefully get promotion at the end of the day. So with that being said, I created this income statement based off Baked by Melissa's site, which is over here, and I used the holiday mixer choose your own cupcakes 25 pack as my kind of basis on what to use as the current income statement. um Sorry, my apologies. Analysis. So over here it says $50 for 25 pack. So then that's where I got the price of $2. And here the units sold is currently 0. So total revenue is calculated by price per unit times the units sold. For variable expenses, I use the average cost per unit, which is 3 cents. We usually buy all, the reasons why this number is so low is because we usually buy all our ingredients in bulk, and when we're creating our final batches of cupcakes, everything's usually made in a very large quantity. So with the large quantity that we make, it averages out to only 3 cents per cupcake for each unit. So for the manufacturing cost per unit, since we've done everything in bulk, all we need to do is shape the cupcakes and present it to our customers as a final showing. So it's kind of like plating it in this very intricate way, but it's very simplistic as well in order to just give them the best possible view in order for them to want to buy these cupcakes for their loved ones, for their families. So because we already have everything created for them, I only put 2 cents because it doesn't take that much effort and that much time in order to mold the cupcakes into the shape and put it out for sale. So right now, since we made 0 my apology, 0 units, our total variable expenses is 0. For salary employees, it's 26,000. I use that based off Glassdoor and how much me and my coworkers were paid for per year and per hour. For cost of equipment, we use very high-end equipment in order to create all our cupcakes in bulk in order to sell for a day. So the total cost of all the equipment is $2,000, and the rent was $2,000 per month. And this means our total fixed expenses was $30,000 when we first started. And as a summary, total revenue is brought over here, which is units times price per unit. Total expenses equal to total fixed expenses times variable expenses, and net income is equal to total revenue minus total expenses. So with that being said, we go over to our break-even analysis. How many cupcakes do I have to make in order for us to grow? So in this tool, I utilize the solver tool looked at in the data tab under what the analyze and solver. And what I did was I click solver, and over here I put a constraint as the number of units sold and produced as 7,000. The reason why I chose 7,000 is because, like I said before, we always create our ingredients in bulk, and the minimum amount of cookies we make per day is 7,000. So I want to put that constraint because we never make less than 7,000, or because then if we make any less than 7,000, we'll be closed for business. And I set my objective, which is our net income, as the minimum value is 0, and then I click solve, and we click OK, and then it shows that we need to make at least 10,417 cupcakes in order to break even for the month. So this is not bad, because we usually make that about 10,000 cupcakes every 2 weeks, and this just shows that we're on projection in order to break even and even make a profit for the last 2 weeks, because on any given month we usually make 20,000 cupcakes. Right next to that, I made two different charts. The first chart is a one variable data table, and the other one is a two variable data table. And for the first, I'll first go over the one variable data table. I created this using the data table file under the what and if analysis and data table, and I utilize the units sold as my column input cell. So what this shows is that what's the total expenses per unit sold, for how many units created, what's the revenue generated for the amount of units created, and finally what's the net income for creating that many units. And this just shows you how many units it takes in order for a normal business day. The reason why here it says $3 and on regular income statement it says $2 is because $3 is the normal selling price that we price our cupcakes at. And I thought it would be good in order to see how many cupcakes we need to sell on a regular given month, sell and produce in order to make a profit or break even. So with that being said, below here I had a two variable data chart, and in this two variable data chart is the same thing as what I did before, except we use two variables instead of one. So the two variables that we use is the units sold shown on the columns and price per unit shown by row. And here I did the exact same thing, which is use the data table, put the row as price per unit and columns as units sold, and this gives you a better representation of our data and how many units we need to make at what price and sell at what price in order to generate a profit. And it gives you a really good insight on how many units we need to sell. Let's say on a regular given day we need to sell at least 10,500 units in order to have a profit for the month. But if we were to sell 5,000 for our cupcakes at $5 per cupcake, we only need to make 7,000 and we already generate a profit. We can even do it at 450 and we'll generate a profit. And it's just a minimum that we make on any given month. So just allows us to get more perspective what going price that we should sell our cupcakes, just so we could generate more profit in the least amount of time for the least amount of effort. Essentially generating the maximum profit for the least cost. So here I created a solver chart for 100,000 projected profit. We want to be positive for the year, and I thought by making this chart I was able to show my manager what's our target goal and how can we meet that target goal. So again, for this month we want to make $100,000 during the holiday season, because we know people want to buy cupcakes for their loved ones, for their families, for their friends, for the holiday season. The $2 per unit, and I use the same exact thing. I use the solver equation, and I set this at $100,000 for the value of. And some other constraints that I made was for C14, C12, which is the ingredients cost per unit. I set that as minimum of a maximum of 0.03, because as like I said before, we make everything in bulk. We don't want to use more than necessary, even though it's the holiday season. For our manufacturing cost per unit is only 2 cents as a maximum, because doesn't take that much effort in order to put the ingredients in the mold, because all the ingredients are made and it's ready to go at the start of the day. Because it's the holiday season, we want we usually make at least 8,000 cupcakes just in order to cope with the demand during the holiday seasons. And the going price, we set that at the maximum discount that we'll give our employees is $2. For our customers, it's $2. And after everything, solving it and keeping the solver solution, we need to sell 65,000 cupcakes during the holiday season. So this will give us some. We need to make 65,000 cupcakes in order to make $100,000 profit. And while doing this project, I thought it was really interesting seeing the two variable data tables and seeing how the income statement played out from the variable expenses to fixed expenses all into the revenue. And I'll definitely use this to show my manager at BakedByMelissia and see her thoughts and help generate the best possible outcome and profit for this month during the holiday seasons. That's my final project. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.